Storm and I mostly know the majority of you guys, if you guys know us, but Logan Kaufman, for anyone that doesn't know, and this is Storm Kaufman. Thank you so much for coming. It's Memorial Day weekend, and you guys are showing up and wanting to listen to what we have to pitch. So I'm going to be showing you guys the history of Freakin Fitness and where we came from. That's going to show you a little bit of the background of where we started in 2009 and where we're going. So it's amazing the fact that you guys are willing to spend your time and be here. Once I give my pitch, I'm going to hand it on over to Storm, and Storm's going to be going on over what the future is going to look like for Freakin Fitness. We started in 2009 on my parents' ranch, and this was the beginning era of Freakin Fitness and Freakin CrossFit. It was the new game changer for functional fitness. It was CrossFit HQ coming on in and giving the opportunity for an open platform for people to be able to have these CrossFit workouts and be able to perform on the range. And this was the beginning stage. And so while this video plays for a little bit, I'm going to switch on over and we're going to go on over, fast forwarding to 2013. In 2013, we acquired Freakin Fitness Pines. We were still affiliated with CrossFit at the time, Freakin CrossFit. And that is a total of 30,000 square feet, indoor and outdoor. And it was a remarkable time because the CrossFit era was still booming. But the CrossFit HQ never gave affiliates the platform to be able to grow, to be able to expand, and also to be able to help employees grow as well. So the churn rate of having coaches stay long-term was not possible. There was no way to have a coach stay at one pay and have them grow because there was always an end piece. And that was a problem for Storm and I. We didn't have the capacity to have different avenues for coaches to go into and keep on growing. In 2020, everything happened. It gave time for Storm and I to be able to restructure the entire business model. We knew what was wrong before, but there was no way to be able to fix it while the business was fully running. So in 2020, it gave us the opportunity to stop everything, reset, restructure, and have a new platform coming in when we're able to open. In 2019, we acquired CrossFit Ripped. It was our way to be able to expand Freakin Fitness. And then very quickly, we're able to move into this location here, which is Freakin Fitness Weston. And so now we're in 2022. We've developed the platform and what we need to be able to expand, and also for longevity for employees to be able to stay inside Freakin Fitness and to be able to grow long term. And so our objective is to mash two different industries that needed a lot of help, and Storm and I have been in it so long, we have fixed these issues. And so when Storm goes on over and starts talking about how your capital is going to be utilized, it's important to understand that you're not going to be going off of this. You will be looking at what you're going to be investing in the future. So with further ado, Storm, I would like you to take on over and talk about the investment and where we'll be going.
All right. So how you doing, guys? So I'm basically the CEO. I do all the back end management of all of Freakin Fitness. And off of what Logan said, yes, we have figured out that there has been a huge vacuum created since 2020. Basically, 2020 showed the fitness industry how these functional fitness gyms, whether it was CrossFit or just a functional fitness gym isolated by itself, that they are not able to sustain themselves due to the fact that they have no infrastructure to build off of. So infrastructure for their coaches, infrastructure for maintaining clients, funneling prospects in. Because of that, they were all isolated across the world. And in 2020, it showed that 30%, from 2020 through 2021, 30% of the gym industry vanished because they didn't have the proper systems. It was their way out. They'd been in it for 5 to 10 years, and they realized that there was no growth. Now, that was just 2020. Leading up to 2020, these functional fitness, which a lot of you guys are at, were extremely popular, but still closing around the US in the thousands. Worldwide, they have been opening up because they never reached their bubble. And the industry never realized, okay, a functional fitness space that only has group class training can only hit a certain cap, and it can never exceed and keep growing. And you have to have that growth for the long term in order for your gym to stay around. So our platform was designed to make sure that it can support all the gyms that are added underneath of it for long-term growth, expansion, and scalability. So that's kind of the route that we've been going. And through 2020 to 2021, we were able to even prove and test our concept on retention, our growth of sales across the board during an extremely rough time. So that was validation to us that our systems actually work. Now, as we keep growing, we have a lot of different revenue streams come into a functional fitness space like ours that can grow, from online training to virtual training, private programming. For us, we have equipment that's gonna be patented, that is actually getting shipped out May 31st, surprisingly, right on the day that we're actually going public, which is really cool. And all this equipment allows for efficiency and scalability of all the gyms, which is really, really cool idea. Now, as far as scalability, as we grow, we have 3 different ways that we're able to acquire new gyms. One is actually, sorry for my handwriting, guys. I have horrible handwriting. So, Freakin Fitness HQ, our platform allows for any gym to jump on board. And there's 3 different ways that we do that. Either a new gym that HQ owns ourselves. So Freakin Fitness HQ, we already own Pines, we own Weston, we do want to own 1 or 2 more. Then the other routes are brand new franchise owners, somebody that does not have a gym, but they have the funding and want to start from the ground up. Those are our franchisees. And then the other is the existing gyms that are out there in the space that realize they have hit their cap. They don't know how to grow. They don't have backing, they don't have infrastructure, they don't have branding. So they've hit their cap and they don't know what to do. But they are passionate coaches. They are passionate owners. They just don't have the infrastructure or tools to capitalize for long-term growth. And that's where we come in. Basically, terraforming, we go in, we say, this is the systems, this is exactly what you have to do. Here's our general managers, our directors. I mean, we have Kyle, who's coaches development, where he's going out weekly and making sure our coaches keep up to specific standards, and then anything that's new in the gym gets added back in, so that everybody's on the same page. So basically, we go in, terraform their place so that they now have grounds for success and growth, whether they want to just keep one gym and that's what they're passionate about, or if they want to open up a couple gyms as they keep on growing down the road so they could actually retire, have benefits, and then also provide a base for new coaches coming up through the ranks. So I'm going to go back to what Logan said. For the last 10 to 15 years, the turnover in the gym industry is huge. Coaches don't realize that, new coaches that come in. So they end up doing personal training classes or group classes at one location. They end up going to another, or they're working at 3 to 4 different locations, but they're passionate, extremely knowledgeable, but as far as long terms, they usually burn out by the time they get to 35, 40 years old, and then start looking for a new industry to work in, because they realize they do have to retire. They have their families, they have kids that are coming on board. So that is the current fitness industry. By us creating this platform, just like the large brand gyms, your LAs, your Crunches, your UFits, there's a way that you can start in one spot and grow all the way through the executive level and retire one day. We're doing this for the functional fitness space, which no large brand gym currently is even attempting to go into. CrossFit, which is not a true business model, They're an affiliateship where you literally do whatever you want. You pay for their name once a year. They call you up on the phone in January. Hey, I hope you're doing great. Where's my affiliate fee? And then they also put on some terms on the back end that are not beneficial to the business owners themselves. So by eliminating that, creating that business infrastructure for them to grow, that's what we're doing for the long term. And we've basically proven out that model for the last 2 years. Any questions so far? No? None? Zero questions? All right. Yes.
So going off of Storm, raise of hand, who's been going to a functional fitness or a CrossFit gym about 5 years ago? Now, for the ones that have been in, you've also recognized that those gyms, some of them are now gone. And so it's a very important piece. Storm and I are very sympathetic towards those gyms that have closed. And it's also an opportunity for Storm and I to also come on in and to help these gyms. Because when we were at Pines, we had gyms in every single corner. Now there's none. And it's also our opportunity to be able to help out the current gyms that are out there with the system that we have. Questions?
No? Wow, you guys are a quiet bunch.
All right.
So I guess my question is, you guys are talking about other gyms that are out there that, that the future is, maybe you can go out and help them. How do you find those people? Is there going to be like a sales team that goes out and looks for people? Like how is that going to happen?
That's my job. So for instance, the way I acquired, I'm very knowledgeable as far as all the owners in the fitness industry. Anybody that pops up, I basically know who they are. I reach out, I do backgrounding. So basically when it came out with CrossFit Ripped, when we took it over, I went out and contacted every gym in a demographical area that I wanted to get into. Weston at that time was something that I was trying to get into for 2 years due to the fact that functional fitness, or back then CrossFit, so many opened up and closed down in Weston itself. No industrial owner wanted to allow one in. So even though I had great financial backing, I knew what I was doing, existing business for over 8 years at the time, nobody would let me in the doors. So I literally reached out to all the gyms in Weston. I reached out in Fort Lauderdale and then North Miami. Weston, he came back and said, hey, I do need help. Are you willing to either partner with me? At the time, after looking over everything, the best option they came down to was us just taking it over 100%. Since January, I've had 4 gyms come up to me already that want to either come on board 100% or the same thing, we just take them over. So the need is out there dramatically, because I've actually done my research, gone to owners, been listening to owners for now 13 years in functional fitness specifically, over 16 years in strength and conditioning. Yes, it's literally just going out and talking to them. And myself being with Logan at the beginning, we knew the struggles that gyms went through. That was a huge learning curve for us for our first 4 to 5 years. But that gave us the knowledge to not follow the industry where the industry was going, for us to put our blinders on and stick with our methodology on how we ran our group classes, how we wanted our coaches trained, and then the levels that they had to hit in order to move up the ranks within our organization. So yes, we would be reaching out to them specifically.
I know when we first met with you, talked a little bit about the requirements of a physical space that you would need for a gym.
Correct.
I don't know if anybody's interested in that, but I was wondering if along with that you had because you were talking about when you were looking at Weston specifically, if you have requirements of a demographic before you open a gym, whether it's number of residents, income level, things like that.
So what we've done is population base within a 5-mile radius of the gym, with an average household income of greater than 60 to 65K. As long as it stays above that, with the population base within that parameter, that's a good location to open up in, yes.
Are you considering limiting the amount of gyms in a certain area? Is it something that you're going to...
Correct, so we always want to open up a gym between, so the question was, are we going to limit the gyms within an area? Yes. We are not CrossFit, which allowed a gym to literally open up 300 yards from each other 5 in that literally a mile square area and said, okay, the fittest survive. So I love the fact that you have to ask that question. So this is what's making us completely different than CrossFit, which is, I keep saying CrossFit because that is the dominant right now functional fitness gyms. Even though they're not completely independent and it's only an affiliateship. A franchise, you have to stick to the parameters that we give you guys, the protocols that you give you. An affiliateship allows you to do whatever you want, you just have to pay the name. So now as far as that, yes, we want gyms to be within a 5 to 10 mile overlapping radius, meaning the radius just barely overlaps within a 5 or 10 miles. So they're spread apart. That allows gyms to not directly compete with each other, but also allows the gyms branding and marketing to actually overlap. So now there's saturation of marketing from multiple gyms within that area. So when people look it up, they go, oh, I saw that there was one at Pines. Oh man, literally just like 5 miles away, there's one at Weston. So I can pick, okay, Weston's actually closer to me. So that's the marketing aspect. Now the growth of our gyms, it doesn't matter whether it's a new owner building ground up, us building the gym ourselves, or us terraforming a gym. We have a centralized location, centralized HQ that every gym reports to, manages all software through, from memberships to coaches training to the policies, protocols, everything. So now we're also doing something different than F45s and Orange Theories. F45s and Orange Theories and branch and chains like, or franchises like that, are independently owned. Yes, at first they get their startup, their HQ helps them out as far as exactly the package that they're purchasing, but you're an individual owner that only owns 1, 2, or 5s of, say, Orange Theories. Okay, I'm gonna go off of what Heather, because Heather actually came, I don't know if you guys know Heather. Heather's our general manager. She owned, she owned a functional fitness gym in the past. She worked for Orange Theory, manages Orange Theories across multiple states. She was a regional manager. So basically off of her knowledge and what she did, they're all independent from each other and even compete against each other. Our design is not that way. We are a community-based gym, which also means we're gonna be community-based with all the gyms that open up underneath of us. So now I'm gonna go back to it. We have HQ, our headquarters, which is Freakin Fitness LLC, which is what you guys would be investing into. Freakin Fitness manages all of the memberships, okay, for every single gym. So I don't know, some of you guys have worked with our memberships team, had to cancel, put on a hold, ask question, get a friend in. So everything's virtual on the membership side. The only thing that happens in the gym is the initial sign up. After that, a team virtually takes care of all memberships for those gyms. So now HQ, new gym comes on board, awesome. We're taking care of your memberships. We're also helping out with branding. We're also hooking you guys up with the events that we run. So when Freakin Fitness runs a throwdown competition where we get 800 to 1,000 athletes, each gym that's pushing members towards that, they're also getting revenue back from HQ. We're not taking everything. Everything has to be built upon each other for growth. The other aspects is the coaches training. Now that is a huge issue in the functional fitness world because standardization does not exist at all. Meaning if you go from one gym, and I'm gonna go off squats. Squats are really easy. Going off one gym, coach tells you to squat to parallel. Uses different terminology. Go to another gym, coach doesn't tell you anything. Go to a third gym, he says you're doing great and your knees are caving in. All right? So this coaching and standardization of being able to explain exactly what a squat is needs to be standardized across the board. Unlike, I keep on saying CrossFit, but that is our biggest competitor. You go to a CrossFit gym, one gym is completely different than the other every single time. So you don't know what you're doing when you are going in the door. You don't know what to expect, what style coaching, what terminology they're utilizing. You're starting from the ground up, hoping that they're good coaches, but they're completely just independent. Ours, they have to go through testing, a training protocol on exactly how to explain what a squat is. I know it's very basic, but that translates over to every single movement. Now allowing yourself, let's say Alex, he has to move to Orlando, because I just had a member move to Orlando, loves us. He's asking me what gym to go to. I don't know, because the standards and how they run things are completely different. Memberships are completely different. We've already done the research that states, guys, you need to keep the membership here. We dropped our memberships after 2020. We did that though, knowing that actually would help retain, allow more of the population to come to our gyms for the long term. So now I'll get into another aspect, is because we're becoming a functional fitness gym with so many different modalities, like the extra gym area, which is passive income, meaning somebody could just pay a membership, go in the back, you don't need to pay a super high level coach. That's another revenue stream also supporting the gym that allows that gym to grow for the long haul. So it's very multifaceted. You can't think of a one lane or one mindset of, okay, we're gonna do Orange Theory, but there's no standardization across the board. So we have to keep that standardization from coach to coach. So our development comes from HQ, where every single movement that comes out is put through HQ. We have a private YouTube channel that basically all the movements are going on. Every coach has to know those movements off of that channel. So if the movement's not on the channel, it shouldn't be something that that gym is coaching. Once it's put up, every gym has it. That takes workload off of owners and coaches. Now the workload is huge when you're an independent, privately owned owner, okay? Massive, because you're trying to do branding, you're trying to figure out how to train your coach. Your new coaches come on board, your coach is left to another gym, now you got another coach coming in, and you have to train them up always from the ground up. We already have the system to train them, and also the system to make sure they're staying for the long term. So that's massive workloads taken off them immediately. From marketing, training, how their organization is structured, we're providing that franchise layout for them. And then we also, it's very scalable, so it can be a 10,000 square foot like this, a 15 or a 25,000 square foot. They all are going to operate the exact same way, and coaches and owners could do what they do best in the industry, which is manage the community. Okay, keep their clients healthy, happy, engaged. That's what owners do best, and that's what's hugely lacking, because these passionate owners are just dropping like flies for the last 15 years. Most of the CrossFit gyms in this area, there's only 3 that I know of. Myself, Soul, and Hype are the only ones that truly still have their first set of owners. The rest of them are on their second, third, fourth set of owners or closed. The newest one would be right off 595. The owner's name was Joey. He's been there almost as long as I have. He's literally my age. He just had to hand it off to the next coach in line because he realized, well, where am I gonna go from here? So we are fixing that part of the industry, which is really cool, in a time that there's a massive vacuum, because 30% of the gyms are gone, 5% more are currently closing this year due to the fact that bankruptcies are going through now with them, which just open up the playing field for us to just walk right in and then really catapult our expansion. Any questions, comments? Do I need to go over anything that I went? Yes?
Another question. I don't know if you guys have thought about this, since you have the 2 locations in a similar geographic area.
Yeah.
But let's say like you open one in Jacksonville or someplace where the income level or standard of living is more expensive.
Yeah.
As an investor, like, how do you guys manage membership fees to be comparable? Do you plan on them being the same?
We do our research in that demographical area before we opened up. So yes, due to inflation and everything, things might change in 2 years. We would just adjust specific gyms to those geographical locations.
So there could be a coach that could earn more in this market than if they're in Jacksonville. They might earn.
Correct, yes, because the market is different, yes. Yeah, for sure. But we would be the ones that help them decide what their membership base is actually at that specific geographical location. Yeah. So we would have to actually help them out with that. And that's our job. That's what we would be doing by helping and supporting. We would never, though, currently open up one all the way in Jacksonville, because we need to keep them, as far as branding, within a 10-mile radius of each other as we grow. Yeah.
Go ahead, a question.
I think we had a question.
So, how much work have you done on the legal side, from like franchising agreement and conditions and terms for franchisees?
So the franchising agreement, currently all the yes. So he was asking where we're at with the franchising agreement and the forms. So currently that's still in the full legal aspect. We're probably like 25% right now because I've been focusing on the campaign. In the state of Florida, you need an actual franchising agreement form filed with the state. So my goal is to have that done by the end of this year because I can still open up with what we're doing, because we have, like I said, we have 3 different ways. Our new franchises, which I would have to get those agreement forms done, which is in process. Existing, which we can actually start terraforming with a previous contract. It wouldn't be franchise, it would be more of a collaboration at first, and then we would have the stipulation that they can transfer over, or they would have to transfer over to a franchise after that point. And then our new building build out, which we are also currently happening. So multiple things can happen at the same time. The franchising would be the only one that would be delayed due to those agreement forms that we'd have to get done.
The terms aren't set yet?
On the franchising
Yes.
forms? No, they're not 100% set yet, no. That was a good question, yes.
Going back to marketing, because that's where my brain works, right? So is there a brand guide in place? Is there something where all of them are going to have similar brands, like similar marketing materials, and like just have that uniformity across the board?
Correct, yes. So Val here, who's been doing a freaking amazing job, the guy behind the camera, his team will grow. We also have other marketing guys that help us out with our campaign. Yes, the marketing is going to be templated. Also, our marketing team would actually go to those new gyms. So if a new coach, I love this example, a new coach is at a Miami gym. He's an amazing gymnastics coach. His quality of coaching is on point. Our media team goes over there because we don't have any high-level gymnastics on our YouTube channels or coaches training. He will do videos, tutorials with that coach that puts on our main platform. Depending on what those gyms need, they're allowed to do like their private training seminars of an Olympic lifting clinic or gymnastics clinic. Because it's all on one centralized platform, they can now just immediately take what they need for their seminar that's coming up. Because every gym will be a little bit different on their scheduling throughout the year of what they want to do community-based wise. Whether it's more gymnastics training, more Olympic lifting training, more promotions for their gym area, their nutrition bar. So we would actually help them create those videos for them to promote.
Will social media be individual, or will it be centralized? Like the marketing will all...
Each gym will have their own social media. Marketing wise is going to be through HQ. So HQ does the national marketing because we have specific standards we need to hit, our analytics, so we will handle that. Yeah, but each gym always has, because we're community, so Alex Ramos, I want to make sure he's like on the Pines Instagram and shows up there. And then if you're at another gym, you want your coaches to be with you on there. If we have 30 gyms, we can't have them all in the same feed. Yes, we would still like something cool happen at our Miami gym. Yes, we would get that information, that video, and then put it on our national platform. Yeah. Any other questions? Nope.
Limited. Being limited is a huge problem within the gym industry. Orange Theory, you're limited what you can do there. And I'm pretty sure everyone here has done multiple different fitness programs. We want change. I want to be able to have options. And the fact that, I'll use Orange Theory as an example, Orange Theory is trying to figure out within their 2,000 square feet, how do I get dumbbells, since their #1 survey that came on out was people asking to lift more weight. And so, Storm, so it was very important for member retention to make sure that we have a location that can actually support that. And that goes amongst multiple different domains. I'm a competition athlete. I want to be able to come on in a 30,000 square foot facility and be able to do my competition level training. I'm a gym person. I just want to come on into the gym and do my own thing. I also want to come to a group training class. I want to be able to be coached. I want to learn how to move better. I want to have longevity. I want nutrition. I want a swimming pool. I want to be able to just play some basketball. And these are very important things when we come into a gym. We pay our membership, we come 1, 2 years maybe, but then I want to do something else. And so it's very important for Freakin Fitness to be able to give those options and for you to also be able to change your membership. If you're doing a group training class, membership's a little bit higher. I want to take a little break. I want to be able to go to the gym side and do my own thing. And then when I want to go back, I can do something else. Maybe I want to get into nutrition. And so those options are extremely important for longevity and not being stuck in a small location where you're limited, stuck, and now you don't know how to grow from there. Go on through, there was some really important aspects, an outdoor area. And that has to do with competition athletes being able to come on in and having the square footage to be able to do their training, right? For someone on in to be able to come on out. And the personal social media aspect was extremely important as well, right? People want to be able to have a place for them to be able to do their own stuff. That was very essential. So that's built in within the building. This is our front desk. And so it's also important to change the whole outlook of how a gym looks when you walk on in. So for anyone that goes to any other gym, there's some major differences. When you walk into the gym, you're gonna have a split. One split of the building is going to go on over to the group training class side, okay? And so the sound, something like we have now, right, would be completely split. So you have your group training class side, and then on the opposite side, you have the gym that is directly behind the front desk, left or right hand side. We have our offices and everything that we need for nutrition, our weigh stations, and so what we want to focus on is a simplistic and very inviting environment. So being able to have an area for people to have their nutrition, the juice bar that's on the left-hand side, your gym, your yoga, your spinning classes is all there. Now, the important piece for everyone that's coming on into the gym was for us to constantly learn the equipment that you want. The majority of the gyms are out there are still using the same gym equipment, and they're not wanting to, one, learn from their members, purchase that equipment, and be able to move forward. So having that aspect of being the new gym is really important because it's something, there's gonna be equipment that we all want, and it's something that we can actually provide within Freakin Fitness. That's the juice bar area, where we're going into the yoga room. The showers and bathrooms that we have are going to be very simplistic, very unique, and clean. And so the clean environment was so important to us. We want a clean gym. We don't want the traditional bloody, gritty sweats and chalk powder all over the place, because I learned a lot of people don't like that. I'm fine with it, but some people aren't. And that was a very important tool that also the functional industry does not get. The owners don't understand that not everyone wants to walk on in and go into the old-fashioned gritty and be all over sweat and blood. And so having that clean environment was a very, very important aspect to be able to keep. What else do we have? So this is a lot smaller than what it actually looks like, but this would be your group training classes, okay? So as you can see, it's gonna be completely split off from the rest, which is very important for noise reasons. We don't want to be able to have a group training class going on and the rest of the gym listening to all that noise. Showers, bathrooms, keeping everything very simplistic and clean is really important. Now I'm gonna go into the traditional CrossFit and start talking about employees and being able to go to another location. So if I am an employee that works down in Miami, Freakin Fitness, how can I grow and scale this company is if a coach goes to a location, Orlando, I don't know where anything is. I now have to go to that location. I am lost and I am extremely confused as a coach of where all the equipment's at. So having this equipment right here, this is our patent pending self-propelled treadmill. So when I go to another location, as a coach, everything will be identically the same. I'm gonna have my med balls, I'm gonna have the plates that I need, I'm gonna have my barbell, and I'm gonna have my dumbbells. So it's also reducing the clutter within our gyms. We're not where everything is all over the place. Looking for my dumbbells on over there, walking through people's stations. Not everyone likes people sweating and being all over the place walking through stations. They don't like that. I also want to be able to have the ability to do my workout without being interrupted through other individuals that are working out. So this was very basic and very important to have at every single location, because it's the only way to scale. Because if you don't have this piece here, there's no way to have your coaches to be able to move to another location, to actually learn. Because if I keep doing it the old way, I'm lost. This location here, you guys are going to be running 5 laps to run a mile. Pines, I have to figure it out. I've never been there before. I don't know where the 1 mile is. So there's a block that kept on growing within having a traditional functional fitness gym that makes it extremely lost.
So I'm gonna go real quick off that. It's also the efficiency of your gyms and being able to truly perform functional fitness and scale it anywhere. If Pines, I can have them run outside on the sidewalk. It's a little bit of a liability. All right, as soon as they go outside of my fenced off area, it's a little bit, yes, that is a liability. Hence why we stopped doing it most of the time. Now, if I wanted to go into a plaza, let's say the Cobblestone Plaza, and I wanted to put a Freakin Fitness in there, do you think Cobblestone Plaza is gonna allow us to run members in their parking lot? No. Meaning now the programming has to be different. Meaning now that gym also now has to have a programmer to help them program and pay that programmer to fit that specific gym. And now a member going from one location that likes running goes to the other location, can't run. Well, now there's not a standard and you just lost that member, because now they're gonna go try to find somewhere else because they're not the same. So that's a huge part of why we keep on changing the equipment, how we set up things from previous, pre-COVID, I guess now we say, and then post-COVID, as far as our business model. So now I guess numbers. Yes?
So, all the pictures you showed up there, very nice, they're pretty, but it just reminds me of all the other, 24-hour fitness, and so how is our gyms gonna be different from that? How are you gonna market to the outside people? No, this is different than UFit, this is different than, the 24-hour fitness.
So
it looks, the pictures look.
Correct. So as far as that specific, that's our preliminary, so that's designed by our GC and their architects. There's a lot of things that would not be, so the gym space is supposed to look like this. It's supposed to be bigger. So they made it a lot smaller. That was supposed to be a 20,000 square foot footprint. They put only 15,000 indoor, so they consolidated everything, and then a 5,000 square foot outdoor turf. That was that turf area. That 5,000 was supposed to be indoor, and additional 5,000 square foot turf outdoor. So it's still supposed to feel like our functional fitness, our community base, but then the other side, yes, does have the traditional amenities of a gym in all those regards, the saunas and everything like that. So that's more of like a preliminary with the 3 different model sizes that we have. So they're in the works right now, revamping that one. The other 2 are the same, they're just larger. Yeah. So it does come down to marketing though, and explaining, this is what we have to offer. You get to walk in and decide whether you want to do functional fitness, whether you want to do the gym rat, whether you just want to do your nutrition coaching, and then you can also switch. And that's the big thing that's helped Weston grow, is the fact that I got sick of functional fitness. I really just want to do bodybuilding right now. I still get to see all my friends every single day. I get the gym amenities, and I literally just go over to the other side, and I can even drop down my membership rate, but still keep the same location just because I want that specifically. So, but it does come down to marketing, yes. Brand awareness, in the functional fitness world, Freakin Fitness is very, very well known in Florida. And that's why we are capitalizing on Florida first as we grow up the state. And as we grow up the state, we're staying on the East Coast specifically, because that's gonna help the overlap in growth and branding and marketing overall. Does that kind of answer? Yeah.
So is this the goal for all the locations, or just specific anchor locations?
So that would be an anchor location. So that would be the ones that we're building from the ground up. So that's going to be our next one, or transforming Pines into that. So now let's get back to, so this will help answer that question. We grew exponentially from 2016 to 2019. 2019, we bought out CrossFit Ripped, started changing that over. 2020, we were going to buy a 14,000 square foot building, indoor space that was in Pines. We were literally going through the the loan application process. Everything was going great until COVID hit. So that derailed us, and that building's now off the market, sadly. So we've already been going this route because that's what have went into that building, as far as Pines specifically. Since Pines is still where it's at, it would be either buying and building a space and actually building up from there. That's mainly the big anchors. So you know how 24 Hour Fitness has like their O'Neill, their Shack location, and then their regular location? So we would have our Shack locations, 25,000 above, and then we kind of got just the general Freakin Fitness. Here's the smallest one, which is 10,000 square feet. So small, this is it. We wouldn't allow under a 10,000 square foot facility because the amount of amenities that you need, the square footage you need per member to make those classes profitable, you have to have 10,000. The 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 square footers, it's not a good model. And it's already proven out to not be a good model. Not for us, but for basically CrossFit or functional fitness gyms around the world right now. Yeah. All right, so and then I'm gonna, yes? So we were about to do that, we were going through the loan process in 2020. Obviously everything happened. We also had Fit Fest, so we were on a massive upswing. Fit Fest was our largest competition, it's our throwdown comp. We actually had vendors, sponsors, teams coming from all over the world, which was really cool. We have so much reach with our events. However, 2 weeks prior to that, we got our shutdown. So we had to knock that out. Cool thing with that is we've been rebounding, and now actually Throwdown is partnered with one of the largest fitness expos in the US, which is called FitCon. So we are now the main event of FitCon, running Throwdown and an obstacle course called Fit Dash. So we are actually projected just this year off of our agreement that we have that we're actually gonna net over like 80%, when we normally only net on Throwdown around like 20%. Due to this multi-year contract that we have. Now when it comes to where we're at now, so we hit our max gross sales in 2019. 2020, obviously we took a hit just like the fitness industry. We were really smart, we had reserves, and we were able to survive through that and then capitalize. 2021 has been amazing. 2021, we updated our old Weston Ripped location into this one. At the same time, we were developing all the back end, so basically the infrastructure for continued growth and more gyms. We surpassed our all-time high gross sales in 2021. This year, currently, we are projected to end the year without any investor support, just us working on our own. We should hit the year around 40% increase in gross sales. We are currently, after just the first quarter, already at 27%. There's ups and downs throughout the year, so our big upswing comes in August. And then August, September, October, it's very traditional. It's how kids go to school, summer camps, people stop their vacations and they get back. So that's when those upswings happen. But we already are, like I said, 27, actually closer to 28% higher than last year's max gross sales. So our trajectory is great. We can go this route alone, but it would take longer. Reason why we're doing this crowdfunding platform is so we can exponentially increase during a market right now where we already do not have close to 35% of competitions gone. So this is the time to hit the ground running, not waiting for everybody else to recover and then try to catch up to us. So with this allows us to actually blitz the market right away, start opening up gyms in any of the 3 different categories. Technically 2 right now. The 3rd one comes as soon as the franchising agreement's done by the state. So that's why we're doing this crowdfunding raise, is to help our infrastructure and building and opening up our new locations. So over 50% of the crowdfunding is going directly to new locations opening up right at this point in time. And now, as far as our financial aspect is, in our investment right now is on a WeFunder SEC regulated platform. So everything has to go through them. We are selling right now, we are an LLC. So we do units, not shares, due to that fact that we're an LLC business structure in the state. So it's equity unit shares. We are letting go 20,000 units, which is 20% of Freakin Fitness. We are maintaining full control at 80% of common units. We are selling just preferred units at this time. Our first crowdfunding raise, our max is gonna be $1,069,000. That allows us to stick with the unit share. The second crowdfunding raise, we predict will be in 2023, probably like mid-year. That's when we would sell the additional unit shares if we even have them at that time, because we could do private fundraising after the WeFunding platform ends. I'm trying to think what else. Yes, May 31st, nationally, it actually goes live on the WeFunding platform. Our first goal, which was just our seed crowdfunding raise round, this is prior to basically where we're in right now, prior to May 31st. Our first goal was 50,000 to be even eligible on the WeFunder platform. I did that in like a week, which was awesome. We are currently at we're over 70-something thousand last time I checked on the WeFunding platform, and we do have a $50,000 private raise that goes through before the WeFunding platform is launched. So as far as our investment and how many people are truly interested is phenomenal. I really think that we're gonna hit our first goal, which is gonna be over that 250,000 mark within the next month. The next goal is gonna be 500,000, and basically what these goals do with our WeFunding platform is as soon as we hit specific goals on the raise from our general audience, they actually then put us in front of their venture capitalists. So your Kevin O'Leary's and people of that nature. So these goals are very important to us to hit them as fast as possible because it allows us to get even to a broader national audience and specific private individuals as well. This first phase really was just to allow our friends, family, and our members, since you guys have been the ones supporting us, helped us grow, to allow you guys the opportunity to invest in first before a bunch of people that we don't know that go on SPV on the WeFunding platform invest as we move forward.
Why did you choose this platform? Why didn't you go through private funding, friends and family, or other sorts of capital?
Like friends and family? Well, technically this is for us, this was like the friends and family aspect.
Why did you go
Yes.
this route?
I went this route because I believe we can hit our goal the fastest this way, and we need the large capital in order to hit the ground running. Otherwise, yes, it's gonna take a little bit slower on the ROI. So this is for blitzing the market and exponential growth. So I was perfectly fine utilizing this platform to reach a larger audience. Over the years, I've never really had a large investor of $1 million that wanted to invest in us. It's always been smaller investors that came to us, 25, 50, but very, not that many. We need to get everybody together on the same page now to really go.
So you didn't have access to $300,000, $400,000, $500,000.
As far as from friends and family, no.
Can I just speak? So, like, we already, our investment company already made the investment through WeFunder, even though it hasn't opened to the public yet. And I can't say, like, in terms of what you're asking, it felt more secure to do it through like a platform that's established, that had, like, there's the dependability there. Then, no offense, I mean, I've known Storm for like 5 years now, and Logan, and they're awesome, but it felt more comfortable doing it through something structured like that than if I just gave them a check and was like, you know, like, do something good with this money, you know what I mean? So I don't know if that addresses your concerns, but we took a chance on it. We'd never done any investment through a platform like that, but I can't tell you though, it felt very secure. It gave a level of dependability than like if we loaned somebody money. Because if you loan money, there's like no...
It's just structure.
Yeah, there's no guarantee.
Yeah, so that was part of my reasoning when I did decide to do it, was it's more structured. And also on our end, because everybody on a WeFunder platform gets placed on an SPV, so we only have one lead investor doing those votes, it just makes everything very, very consolidated, especially with filing taxes at the end of the year, with all the K1s that got to be issued and dividends that go out. WeFunder platform actually helps us with that. So we just calculate what the dividends are. We actually give it to the WeFunder platform, and the WeFunder platform sends those dividends out to our investors. Yeah. So yeah, it did have that, and the fact we just didn't have access to that much funds that I knew of. Yeah. I like that question. Any other questions? Yes.
I think it would be reassuring, and this could, the last one, but reassuring to talk about what you explained to us in terms of the return, like what the model is, in terms of if there's any payout, when that would be, what kind of time schedule we're looking at in terms of when we get any return on the investment.
So the way, since we're an LLC, we've designed it so that we hand out dividends because they're not shares yet. We will be converting over to shares at some point with the next round because we have to. Okay, that way you guys can cash out at some point. Our return though, it's really for true return, 5 to 10 years, because we're going for massive expansion. We're not staying as 2-location gym. That's never been in our mindset, but now we have the tools to actually promote that. So definitely with us, especially as our members, this is looking at the future and the long-term growth, but we're gonna keep you up to date on how that growth actually happens, and we are giving back to our members those dividends annually. Yeah.
Do you expect to pay out dividends even while you're growing?
Yeah, if we can, I'm going to our members, yeah, because this preferred, as long as you guys are in the preferred units, until we become that share aspect, yes, I want to give back to my members. Yep. You guys are the support, so that was one of the big things. Did that answer that though? Yeah. Okay. I just think it's important to know, like, when am I going to get back, so to speak.
And I think when you're going to invest, if you know, okay, you might get some next year, you might get some next month, you might get some 5 years from now. Like that's important.
So we're all on the same page. So the WeFunder platform, when you invest, that's not when Freakin Fitness actually acquires those funds. The entire campaign has to close. So when the campaign closes, which is option 1, we hit our $1 million mark, because that's actually what we're going for. 750 is our goal, $1 million is what we really want to sell. As long as we hit that mark, then as soon as it hits, we just shut it down. And then from there, it'd be like a year before you got your first dividend back, because that has to go an entire year for the K1s then to be issued. Any other questions? Comments? Concerns? Excitement? Yes, okay, so our unit, currently our preferred unit price is $75 per unit. The minimum that we're allowing on the WeFunder platform is $525, which basically gives you 7 units. We're not doing the $100, which WeFunder messed up. They just left the $100 mark, even though nobody's ever used it. That's just too much workload on the CPAs. It just isn't beneficial. So $525 and above. For our members, specifically for you guys, which actually you guys actually get how we are also trying to give back to our members and family in the seed round, is we actually $1,000, $5,000, there's different tier brackets when you look on there. We're giving you guys from 15 all the way up to 40% off membership. So that's actually cash back in your pocket immediately. So that's, what's up?
Is that permanent?
Yeah, that is permanent. That is permanent, yes. So you guys are investors, so that discount stays with you. It even says what retail is, what your membership is, and that's another way you guys actually can get monetary investment back outside of the actual investment that you actually put in. So we wanted to make sure we had a way to give back to you guys. Yes. And that's all on WeFunder, by the way. Okay. Anything else you want to add?
No, I just want to say thank you for everyone coming out. I've been waiting for this moment with my brother, because you have April 5th, 2012, you had a bill passed where you no longer had to be a accredited investor. Accredited investor had to be making over $250,000 a year to be able to make investments in a private company. And the fact that that has been changed is also a game changer for every American. So it's cool to be next to my brother and with you guys and have this type of conversation about what we're doing, because it's huge. Because before that, A lot of people weren't able to make an investment in a company that they believed in. So having that change in 2012 and for us reaching this point from 2009 to be able to do this, I thank you guys for coming out and listening. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. You guys are more than welcome. My email is storm@freakinfitness.com. If you guys wanted to have a private meeting about anything, I had a couple private meetings already with a couple of you guys. I'm always open, and I'm always going to be available. So anything that ever comes up, literally just come to me. There will be a gap review. So everything's SEC regulated. Everything will be on the WeFunder platform. So the gap reviews that's required by the SEC, that's going to be on our platform as well. What's up? Yeah, I had to pay, yeah. They had to do a whole gap review from 2020 through 2021. What's up? It's Salver CPA. They're actually here in Weston. Yep.
That's already on the site?
That will be up May, so everything of that will be May 31st, that day. Yeah.
So all your financials will be on there?
That's on there, yes. Yeah. So all the financials, everything. So May 31st is that official live national look at it. Yeah. Any other questions? No? I really appreciate it, guys, since it's Memorial Day weekend, because I know a lot of people want to come out and everybody's on vacation, so I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys, and I hope I see all you guys at Murph on Monday. Everyone's like, no, not doing that. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Sorry.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
You said you were injured before, right?
And I've always wanted to get back to the functional fitness community. This is the way to do it and create a very solid business.
I mean, I was impressed by the fact that throughout the pandemic, how you guys were